And we are live. Welcome everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the coolest stream around. It is such a strange feeling standing in my garage and feeling cold. Also, let me know, the music still feels kind of aggressively loud to me, and I don't know whether that's just me because audio levels are slightly different in here now, or if the music is actually loud. Yeah, it's like hard to hear myself even think. Let me lower it a little bit more. Let me see here. Oh, let's try like 55 and so it goes. But yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. Yeah, music's a little high. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just like it as like background sound, not as like me being the background sound. So let me lower it to like 45, and then you guys can let me know in a little bit here. Sorry, my nose is still itchy. The allergies have not improved. Let's see. We've got Muzin in the house. We've got Lisa's here. Lord Git's here. Tuxedo is here. Rod is here. Stuart. Lord Git. I don't know if I just said hi, Lord Git. I'm saying it again. Steve Clark is here. Hello, hello. Why are we not scrolling? What is going on here? John Beck is here. Hobo Banana is here. Let's see. Scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. I think Greenbeard. I don't know if I saw Greenbeard already. Rob, how's it going? Hey, he's here too. Cool, nice, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so, man, I wish Nice was in chat because I want to show him, one of my flares, just because I feel like he'll be proud. But yeah, basically, last Wednesday we streamed as always, or as usual, and the mini split wasn't supposed to get delivered till Thursday, but it showed up on Wednesday. And so I spent a little bit of time Wednesday and Thursday, and a lot of time on Friday night and Saturday getting it in. Basically, not everything went wrong, but considering how much prior research I had done and how good I felt about how relatively good I felt going into it, things just did not go well from the beginning. The first issue was like stud alignment. I didn't have any studs that really made sense, so I had to add screws to the backing plate. The second issue, which was one that really frustrated me, was the mini split was supposed to come with, it still feels really loud. Is it still not loud, the music? The mini split was supposed to come with basically a cardboard template that you place on your wall and you just mark like drill here, drill here, drill here. The biggest one I was concerned about was the 3-inch hole I had to drill through my wall. I get frustrated when I measure for like a picture frame and it doesn't end up going in the right spot, and that's a tiny hole. So I was really nervous about the 3-inch hole, and I basically had to like put the mini split up there and then just go based off feel with my hands of where it seemed like the tube was going out. And it was slightly off, but not off enough to be problematic. So I got that, and then the next big issue was I couldn't find an appropriate adapter for my torque wrench for torquing the nuts. And then bending the copper was really nerve-wracking. And then once I thought I was all done, it was Saturday like afternoon. I had vacuumed the line, it had held vacuum. I opened up the Freon seal, or like the refrigerant seal, just like a quarter turn. And like just for like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi close. And when I did that, I heard tss, and that is not a sound you want to hear when you're releasing pressure into a line. Music is still loud. Okay, I'm gonna lower it. It's really frustrating that like the desktop audio, oh wait. Yeah, the audio bumped up like crazy, that's why. Okay, how's that? That's a lot lower. Yeah, so one of the factory flare factory flares on the 1/2-inch line had a leak. It was not sealed. I basically heard the sound. I ran up there. I had a little water bottle with like soap and water, sprayed the line, and I instantly saw bubbles. So at that point, I was like pretty frustrated and defeated feeling, because I thought that perhaps I had just screwed up, and at that point was gonna have to have an AC person, like a HVAC tech, come out. But because I had only opened the line so little, I mean, it was a tiny, tiny turn, and because I cut the line 6 feet shorter anyway, so there was too much Freon in the system from the get-go, I gave it one more go. And for the final time, I was able to get the appropriate torque wrench attachments from a neighbor. I pulled vacuum, but the vacuum pump I got... We're gonna get into building, I promise. But this has been such a thing for like a year of my life, roughly talking about. So the issue is that like this is just a cheap little vacuum pump, right? This is what I used to pull vacuum. Well, the sort of like manifold gauges don't read down to the levels you would want to be able to detect a super small leak. And so the second time, like the instructions tell you to basically hold vacuum for like 5 or 10 minutes. The second time I pulled vacuum, I held vacuum for a few hours. And so when I went out and saw that it still showed negative 30 or -1 bar, I felt pretty good about it. And so yeah, I released all the refrigerant. I didn't hear any hissing sounds. I climbed up on my ladder and sprayed everything and saw nothing. I checked the drain tube. It was draining into the pan, and yeah, it's like 74 in here, and it's like 90. It's like hot outside. Oh, it's not that hot today actually, but it's just incredible. So I am super excited and had to share. Yeah, so let's get into building. We were supposed to have the shed installed today, but I got a call yesterday basically saying your shed's not ready, and I'm like, oh, thanks for the 12 hours warning or whatever. So now it'll be in next Wednesday, but that won't impact the stream. Yeah, it feels weird, like coming from outside in the, like I was doing some yard work yesterday and I came inside here to cool down and I'm like, what a crazy concept. Usually coming from outside on a hot day into the garage is like, oh, it's so like gross in here. So yeah, I'm over the moon. It feels unreal having it all done. Bearded Printer, thank you so much for the gifted membership, man. Let me, music's fine. I lowered it a lot, like I said. I really want it to be background noise. I feel like it's maybe a little bit too low now because I can't really even hear it that much. 38 Celsius in my workshop right now. What does that convert to? I know that that's horrible, but I don't know what that converts to. Is it 100? 38 C2. Is it over 100? Oh, it's right at 100. Yeah, that is dangerous. That is dangerous. Downside is that you'll have a harder time when you're outside. Yeah, I'll take that trade-off though, Tux. I'll take that trade-off. I need some air conditioning in my garage. I've been doing a lot of work out there and can't stop sweating. Yeah, I mean, I will say that if you have the tools for the job, and the one thing I didn't realize, which maybe I would have done, is that Della, which is the manufacturer of, or at least like, they're the ones that rebadge these mini splits. I don't think they actually manufacture. I think a lot of them are coming from the same factories, but they actually sell a rental kit for $200 that comes with the vacuum pump with a micron gauge. It comes with the torque wrench that you would need, like with a proper like crescent attachment instead of like mine was basically a car. I mean, I had to use this monster 1/4 inch, you know, like what I basically got for doing lug nuts with a crow's foot, and that was really awkward trying to get in there with this like massive thing in one arm. But yeah, and then they have like a pipe bending thing, so like you don't even have to buy the tools, because I thought I was going to be saving money, but I didn't realize they had a rental option. I probably spent close to that amount, but the tools I got also aren't as good. Like I said, I didn't have a micron gauge. I had to use my car torque wrench. So, and also with this particular manufacturer, I guess if you use their rental kit and you take photos of everything after the fact, then you've got like some form of limited lifetime warranty. Well, because I didn't do that, I've basically got 1 year, and then after that it's like I don't know how it'll go. So yeah, all right, y'all, let's get into it. So we are continuing with the monster known as the UNIMOG. Last week we built the frame. I did move the this is the size of the frame. It is huge. So I did move the quartz out of the way, so that way we've got like the wood surface area to work on, because this is too big for that. Today we're going to be working exclusively on the gearbox. So we're going to do that. You might have noticed that there's not a big printer right here. So I did move the Venture. I said a couple of weeks ago that I was potentially giving it away, and a buddy of a buddy is coming to pick it up after today's stream. I had plans for it with doing index and a bunch of other stuff to it, and it's just not, I don't think it's gonna happen. There's just too much other stuff going on, and it takes up, because I'm in the single car bay, it takes up such a massive pocket where other printers and stuff like that can sit. So the person that's picking it up has a Creality printer and a Bamboo printer, and like, and my buddy, the guy that sort of like linked me up with him and said, hey, like this guy's really interested in like getting it off of you. He's gonna help him with any complications he runs into, because I tested it last night and it is printing. It printed a pretty solid benchy, but it's definitely one of those machines where like there's gonna require more, like some upgrades, some cleanup, some refinement and stuff like that. So I feel a lot better about it going to somebody who is a friend of my buddy who's been 3D printing for longer than I have. So yeah. Does the kit come with the grease shown in the video? The kit does come with grease. I don't know about the grease shown in the video. we're gonna need grease for sure. The thing I'm concerned about with this is so like, hold on, because we're gonna need grease, so that's a good question. I should try to find it really quick here. I think these are just grease bags. Yeah, these are bags of grease. So the concern I have is we're using PCCF today, and we're using longer bolts, so there's gonna be more friction, which is gonna translate to more heat. I talked to Steve briefly about it on Saturday, and he mentioned he thought that using a little bit of, because I think the instructions say some like oil, but I've just got a little bit of, let's see if I can zoom in. Nope, that ain't gonna work. I think it's on manual focus. Is it on manual focus? It is. That is definitely not gonna work then. So hold on 1 second here. Okay. So Steve mentioned the possibility of just using a little bit of soap actually to help as a lubricant. So I've got a little bit of soap here, as well as a big bottle of it if we need more. So we're gonna try that and see how it goes. The grease, like I don't think it says anything specific on the grease. Let's see. Any grease left over from the Prusa build? The question is, did I hold on to it? I consolidated, I'll have to check. So yeah, it just says let me see if I can focus a little bit. It's just LDO grease, and it's just a grease packet. There's a lot, I mean, there's a lot of them, right? There's a whole bag of grease packets, so. But yeah, I mean, we've got, do I have it down here? So I've got a bunch of, like, mobile grease. I've also got some other grease upstairs. So, we'll see. Oh, also, so Polymaker is making some changes to their giveaways as far as like, I think it's largely, I thought that was mouse poop. Just film it. Sorry, that threw me off. Yeah, Polymaker is making some changes to the way they do giveaways. I think it's more just like the infrastructure behind automation and stuff like that, because they've had some issues with. Anyone that's won a giveaway from me in the last 2 months knows that there was some delays on a couple of them. So until that happens, there is not going to be giveaways. I am hoping it's only a matter of a couple of weeks till they get back up and running. And as soon as I know anything, you'll know anything. But yeah, last week when the person won the giveaway for the stream, the usual method was not working. And so I emailed Polymaker and was able to get them a manual code generated, but was told that like they're changing up their system. So just letting you know. Just letting you know. Not sure I would use soap. Soap can dry and seize. We'll try it, Tuxedo, and see if it works or see if I run into problems with it. We can try it without grease too and just see how that goes. But yeah, there's a lot of parts for this. I actually think I also am going to get a stool today if you guys are fine with it, because these parts are really low and I'm going to be sitting pretty low. I will do a combination of sitting and standing, but right now, because of how low I'm going to be, it's like, it's more the bending over or like the arch and looking down versus being able to look forward. It's what gets to me. So, all right. Yeah, so we're starting here. So let's see. We need this piece of M2 by 30. It says, apply a small amount of grease to the screws. Got it. So this is saying grease to the screws. Here for the stream giveaways bonus. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like being able to do the giveaways, but I mean, my hands are tied on this, right? Like that's, if they're saying that they're, you know, trying to figure out something, then that's all I've got right now. Okay, M230s. Also, so I have a question. Like, if I am gonna try a little bit of soap or grease on these long screws, why are we not? What is happening? Seriously? Okay. Wait, it switched back to manual focus. All right, let's see if it switches back again. I'll just leave it on manual focus and I'll find the right spot. But if I am gonna try using some soap or grease, do we think I need to actually get all of the threads, or if I just put a little bit on the end as the screw passes through, it'll probably be enough? EP2 would also work fine. I can squirt some of that. I can squirt some of the EP2 onto something then if we think grease is better. I mean, the instructions or like the manual does call for grease, so I'm not against just doing grease if that's what I want to do. I've got this little printed piece that is scrap. I can just squirt a little bit of this onto. Let's see if that'll work. Yep. All right. But yeah, do we think last 1/4 is more than enough? Okay, got it. I kind of was hoping that would be the case. It seems like it'd be a lot of work to fully grease the entirety of these. So what I am curious about is how the threads are going to work with this screwdriver. That is a lot of threads. Oh my god. Wow, that is a lot of threads. Holy cow. Yeah, okay. We'll see how long this battery. The battery is fully charged, so I did at least do my due diligence and charge the battery. So it is as much as I can do. And I wonder if I can have it plugged in directly to the power cable to if it starts dying on me, but yeah, that is a lot of threads. Wow. Okay. All right, let's, I think this is just a 1.5 millimeter. I think that's what we need for this guy. Let's see if that works. Yes. Boy, is that a lot of teeth on those screws. What kind of screwdriver is it? It's a Hoto, Hoto, H-O-T-O. Steve had recommended it to me a long time ago, although when I talked to Steve now, he thought that it's not the best option because there's not adjustable speeds on it. And last week when we were screwing the frame together, so the frame is just PETG, and the screws got pretty warm from just the friction. I could have potentially used grease on those as well. But yeah, Steve has one that is adjustable speed-wise. It uses like a gyro. So based off how hard you turn it, adjusts the speed of it. Well, this is just a single speed. This is all PCCF, and so I'm not super worried about heat, especially because we're doing grease. But yeah, that was something that Steve had mentioned. You know, yeah. Imagine having to screw those by hand. Oh, your wrist would be destroyed. I already get pretty bad wrist pain at times because of how much I'm on the computer. Yeah, I could not. I don't think I could do that. Okay, so we did that. 2 more of them on the bottom now. Yep. Okay. So more screws. These are all just really long. Yeah, I could not imagine. I have zero desire to even attempt one of these by hand. All right, let's just get this guy started. Okay. I just used my beard to do it. Dude, you must have a magical beard. All my beard does is make me itch and make it a little bit more. And then lately my mustache has just been tickling my nose, man. It's kind of the worst. Kind of the worst. I was on a video call, I think it was last Friday maybe, with my boss, and I kept telling her, like, hey, if I'm fiddling with my nose a lot, I apologize. My mustache is like in my nose. I felt like a goofball. All right, so let's see. I might have to back this out actually a hair because we're not gonna want. I don't know if these will free spin. All right. that gonna work? Let's see if this works. All right. I do have a... I need to try to find them, Tuxedo, but how loud is this? How loud is this tool? I assume when I'm talking, you can hear it at least. So I did pick up, I didn't have one before. My reamer kit started at 3mm, but you made the recommendation a few weeks ago, so I went out and bought a reamer and I bought drill bits and I lost them. Because of the mini split stuff I was doing, this whole table was covered in parts, and so okay, I think I just found them actually. So this is a 2mm drill bit. This is a 2mm reamer. It seems like at least right now they're going in. Do you think I should still be reaming them beforehand? My concern is if I'm reaming if I'm doing, I can't talk. That doesn't look like a printer. Will it run today? Yeah, I wish, man of the croc. I wish. Thank you, man. Thank you for 29 months. We got AC in the garage too, man. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm in paradise right now. I get to stream with you guys and not be sweating and you know, feeling kind of thick from the heat. Yeah, this is all proof cement, man. I have been blown away by this stuff. Like it prints so easily and just looks incredible, man. Like I don't know, it's crazy. So yeah, the question I've got is though, if I've got a 2mm reamer and I ream these holes out and I'm intending to use like self-tapping 2mm screws, isn't that going to be problematic? Because I would think that the screws will basically just drop into the holes then. That's my only concern. I could see using it to clean up. I can use it to clean up a little bit of like maybe the entry point of the screw if I run into parts that need it. But so far, I think that these parts are like ever so slightly under extruded. Like, I mean, I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Maybe is it? Yeah. There's like a little bit of, you can see I don't know how well you can see it, but there's like some there we go. You can kind of see there's a tiny gaps. They're really small. But I saw that when I initially started printing these and kind of left them there because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't over extruding at all on these parts. Rod! Oh my gosh, 47 months, dude. That is so crazy. Thank you so much, man, for the nearly 4 years of hanging out in the sport. It is awesome. Oh, only holes that are supposed to be clearance holes. Got it. Okay, so yeah, not the self-tapping ones. If there's ones where the screw just passes through. Yeah, I mean, these ones probably could have been that way, right? I probably could have done these. It's an M2. Yeah, I don't have a 1.5 or 1.6 mil. This might be. So the reamer definitely appears to be bigger than the drill bit. So I wonder what size drill bit I bought. Give me 1 sec and see if I can find out. Maybe I didn't buy a 2mm. Maybe it is a 1.5. Let's see if I go to orders. I don't remember what I printed it at. Whatever the, it was printed on the Core 1, so I just went with the default profile for structural parts. I did make a profile actually for a different printer as well, but I can't remember what the specific values were. Where is this reamer at? Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Reamer, here we go. Yeah, it says, oh no, that's the reamer. You know what? Okay, so I did buy, yeah, I bought a 2mm reamer and 2mm drill bits. So this is smaller. This must be like something that came with an LDO kit from the past or something like that. This is probably, do I have my calipers out here? I'm curious to see what size this is. GPs with the 34 months, nearly 3 years. Rod will always be beat. It's not a contest, man. I appreciate everybody, whether it's 4 years or 1 month, man. Thank you so much, GPs. I appreciate it, man. Okay, I should have, where the hell are my calipers? I know I brought them over to my neighbor's house because we were trying to figure out what size crow's feet adapters or wrenches or whatever their full name is we're gonna need. But where did I put them when I came back is the question. I don't see them right now. All right, we'll move forward. I know I've got another set of calipers upstairs if I can't find the ones down here. I shockingly feel like I would have put them on this table. Like that's their home. That's where they belong. So I don't know what I did with them. Okay, let's move forward here. So we've got oops. Yeah, we did that. Okay, so bearings. 2 bearings going on both sides of this guy. Oops, that's the screws. Okay. So, let's see how easily these pop on. Holy cow, the answer is not very easily. I'm gonna apply some pressure and see if I can pop. Yeah, that works. Okay, well that's a nice snug fit. It wants us to do it on the other side too. That one needs a little bit more love. Get on there. It's almost on. It's nearly on. It's at a slight angle still. I feel like the quartz would have been really nice right now. I don't really want to push these into... You know what? I probably can use those. Do I have the big Knipex pliers? Let's see how wide the jaws get. That might... it's so close. All right, I'm just gonna move over here and see if I push it into the quartz, if I can get it to go the rest of the way. Okay. I'm gonna say that is good enough. Is there a kit without the radio gear and motor? I have this already, but looks fun. I don't think so. I'm curious to see if LDO ends up offering that version, because I know there are other people in the 3D printing space that have hobbies that include RC. But as of now, I don't believe so. I'm trying to see, is this perfectly on there? It's still slightly... It's damn close, but it's still slightly up. We'll leave it for now. Once it's all in place, it might just sort of work itself out. So I don't want to keep kind of hammering away at it. Okay. I'm not buying a car. I gotta change browsers, man. I liked this browser for a long time, and I don't like it at all anymore. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're just doing 3 of that. Lisa with the 49 months. Holy, oh, you're what? Crazy. I feel like I'm watching you and your family grow. Thank you so much, Lisa, for all the support. It's crazy. I know a lot. I mean, a lot of you that have been here were here like, I mean, 1 before I was 30, 2 before. No, I was engaged before I started streaming, but definitely before I got married or had 2 kids or moved into like, you know, moved out of the state and stuff like that. It's wild. Like, I mean, that's 4 years, and then I know I streamed for at least a year plus before memberships even started, because there was like a certain tier or something like that you had to hit, and so I think it was like a year it took me to get there. So yeah, it's crazy. That's part of why I like having like, I mean, Jack loves coming out and just hanging out, but that's kind of why I like showing off the kids on here, because a lot of you have been here from, you know, before the kids and have seen the kids growing up. So okay, let's do this. So we're just basically going to take these guys. We're gonna take 4 of these guys and grease them up. Oh no! No! Why did I do that? I put the metric ruler like directly on the grease. That is definitely a me move, man. It's definitely... Well, it's a good thing I got a lot more grease, but I will try to make that the only time I plop something down directly on the grease. Oh, no! No! Oh, I flipped... Okay. It might be cool in here, but I'm still clumsy. Dear Lord. All right, I've been here for too long. Oh, Zombie's got 4 years. That's crazy, man. I mean, I remember hanging out, like, I definitely remember you hanging out since at least we moved to Idaho, because when we were in the rental, I remember making all those numbers for that game, and then you said, oh, my kiddo would love those, so I sent them your way. So I know you've been here for, you might have, I don't know, were you watching the streams before we left California? I can't remember. I know I know like at least shortly after we got to Idaho, like I can remember you jump into the streams, but I can't remember before. Wait, we have 4 years we were in Idaho. Yeah. Okay. And we are screwing the screw in. Still feels like only yesterday when you and Aaron announced she was pregnant with Jackson. Yeah, it was like right after we got married. We'd been together, so we've been together for 10.5 years now, and we got married before we moved out here, so that would have been 4 years and some change ago. So yeah, we'd been together for 6 years. So like we'd already like taught kids and knew like, yeah, no, we want to have kids, but I don't think that either of us expected like it to happen so quickly. Yeah, we basically got out here on June 6th, and Erin's birthday is July 9th, and we found out the day after her birthday that, you know, she was pregnant, that we were expecting. That was a crazy that was a crazy discovery, but awesome. Like, super nerve-wracking for me. Like oh, there's different levels of like torque on here. I didn't grow up around a lot of like younger kids. I lived with my best friend and his wife and my godson for a little while, but I was very much not aware of like what went into raising a kid, and it was more just like, hey, it's, you know, like I get to be the fun one that hangs out and shows video game stuff or whatever, you know. So I was definitely very nervous, but I feel like we're doing our best. I remember California stream, dude. Yeah, because when I started streaming, if you remember, I was using a cart that I built. It was one of the, I don't have any, yeah, I do have one in view. I can show you guys, hold on. So when I started streaming, it was basically, because we were in a 700 square foot condo we were renting. And so we were using, let me see if I can pivot this enough to where you guys can see it. Yeah, so we were using one of those carts right there, and the desktop was on the cart. It was like dual stacked monitors with a webcam on the, it was a webcam on like the most shaky arm ever. Yeah, in the living room. It was wild. It was such a small, like, from humble beginnings, man. Thank you guys for watching, because looking back on those, I'm like, man, the lighting was so bad, and like the cameras are all shaky. I mean, I still have a lot of room for improvement, but I'm at least happy now. Like, getting lighting in the garage to me was massive for you guys being able to see most of what I'm doing, which to me is, you know, a big part of the point. We had to convince you that it was okay to not stream after getting married after Jackson was... yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I was maybe weirdly committed to maintaining the stream. I was like, no, I gotta stream, even if it's a short one. But yeah, I remember it. You guys were all basically like, no, you're getting married, take a week off. Ah! We are gonna test the agility of this battery today. That is what we are gonna do. Give me my bit. What's happening? There we go. Yeah. I'm weird about schedules. Like once I commit to something, it feels really wrong for me to not see it through. Like I feel like I'm letting myself down. And so I think that was a big part of it. Like I'd been so, and I know myself too, that if I start to fall off on something, it makes it easier to justify like, oh, well, you missed it last time, you can miss it this time. And I just didn't want to fall into any sort of a, you know, cycle like that. But there also has to be exceptions to the rule. And I think, like you guys said, you know, getting married or having a kid is probably a couple times in life where you can make that exception. Since then, I have made some exceptions. Like I've taken off streaming if I'm like really sick or if the house is really sick. You know, so there's been a couple of times since then. I'm learning. Hey, nice. Okay, nice. Check this out, dude. Check this out. You see what that is right there, buddy? Man, there's so many times over the weekend where I wish I had you on speed dial just to get a second opinion on what I was about to do. The biggest tragedy was a leak from one of the flare nuts, but I was able to correct it with minimal loss, and everything has been working beautifully for today's Wednesday. So for like the last 4 days, it's been awesome. I did want to show you one thing really quickly because I was really proud of it, and I felt like nice sort of just. All right, so check it out. Oh wait, that's another. Hold on. All right, so hold on. I'm gonna turn off auto for a second here. All right, so that was my cut, right? So there was a 1/4 inch line and a 1/2 inch line. So cut the line. It was looking kind of sharp, and I was like, I remember Nice specifically said, make sure you clean out those lines. So then I cleaned it out. I just used a deburring tool to get it as clean as possible. And then that was my flare. I was incredibly nervous about the flare. I remembered every video said, make sure you slide the nut on first. Make sure you slide. So I was like in my head, like, don't forget to put the nut on before you flare it. But yeah, I was really pleased with these flares. And I was like, dude, Nice. If Nice were here, he'd give me the smile of approval. I can feel it. I know he would. So yeah, I ended up using. Hold on, let me turn back on autofocus. So on like Friday night, I started seeing a lot of talk about this one particular product, and I'm not sure how much of a difference it really made, but I did use it. I did use it on the flaring tool and on all my flare connections. I didn't use it on threads, but a lot of people seem to swear by this stuff. So I used this. I only use this on the flare connections, like so a little bit, like tiny. I mean, like a rain of grice on the inside, and a rain of grice. Oh my gosh, a grain of rice on the outside. But yeah, it seemed like it really did good. I was so proud. I was so proud. Like there was nobody here. It was just me by myself because Aaron and the kids are gone, and my parents were gone by that point as well. They went back to California. But I just looked at that flare and smiled, man. I was so nervous. Now you can say you got some flare, some Riz. I think that's right. I just watched a video, or I just watched a movie. There's a Netflix. I've been watching movies a little bit more because, well, there's nobody here, and so it's quiet. And at night, I'm like, I need noise. So I watched the movie with Kevin Hart on Netflix, and they use the term Riz. I don't know if I've heard that term maybe ever before seeing that. So this is an example of one that I probably can remount because this doesn't need to have threads. It's basically going to get locked in place by the head of the screw. So let me grab a drill and just throw one of those reaming bits in there because it's gonna, I mean, it's a small thing, but over time, because there's so many, I could see that saving some of our battery life and just not being a bad idea. So let's ream that out. I've had such a bad experience with those things. Wait, with what? That product or with flares? Yeah, I didn't see like any bad, that product specifically, I didn't see like anything bad about it. The only debate I saw was whether it should go on threads or not. And I saw enough no's that I said, forget it. Everyone seems to agree that it's great on flares, but there's a lot of potential I don't knows about using it on threads. So I specifically use it on flares. It's my understanding that's basically just a lubricant of sorts. I never use leak lock. I know that I know it's not totally necessary, because I mean people have been doing it for, you know, a long period of time before the product was even a thing. But I just, being a, you know, this is like a one-time deal hopefully for me, that I'm not going to be doing a lot of this. It seemed like there was enough potential gain and not a lot of loss to use it, and that's why I decided, you know what, for $10 a bottle or something like that, I was like, I'm gonna buy it. Like, that is a worthy investment if it helps even a little bit. So, and yeah, I don't know like how much of a lock it does, or if it's more like a lubricant to help the fittings slide into place a little bit easier. I used it, like I said, I used it on the tip of the flaring tool, and my understanding was that like it was like potentially help make a little bit of a cleaner flare. I don't know. I don't know if it did, but the flare looked good. So who's to say whether it was me that just did a good job, or whether, you know, the product really helped. I don't know. It's a sealant, really? I thought, hold on. What does the product say? Compatible with all refrigerants, will not contaminate system. Oh, it does say that. Gasket. It does say thread sealant on it too. No longer is a unique gasket and thread sealant that will not contaminate AC refrigerant lines. The fluid never hardens or dries, will always remain in an elastic state. It fills cracks and voids to prevent all leaks, especially during temperature spikes and system vibrations. It's used in OEM assembly and field service. Please see that. Yeah, so I don't know. It says threads, wind fluid around threads like liquid string, and for gaskets apply to both sides. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't even use it exactly. I mean, yeah, I think I used it correctly, but distributed in Australia and New Zealand. No, that's not. Where's this stuff made? I don't see where this is made. I don't know. Use only red Loctite on fillets and drop of vacuum pump oil. Oh, interesting. A drop of vacuum pump oil on the outside. I mean, you obviously know what you're doing. It's what you do. So, I would recommend that product to a DIYer for sure. But if you've been doing your like, you know, if you've got a method that's worked for X amount of time, then I don't see any real reason to change it. I just wanted to show it. It was not, that was a last minute purchase. That was not in any of my initial research. But when I started specifically looking at flare stuff online, that's when I started to see some discussion about that product. Okay, this is not going in. Okay, now it's going. Is a flare instead of an olive, or are there different? Are there for different uses? I don't. Maybe that's a nice question. I don't even know what an olive is, other than something I eat. So I've never heard of an olive in any other. Oops, I need a capacity. Now you got me thinking about food, man. So we did get a bunch of cucumbers this last week, and because I have nobody here to give them to, or like family to eat them, I did make some quick pickles. And hold on, let me not strip this. Give me a minute. Let me focus for 1 sec here. So many threads. Okay, so yeah, I decided to do some quick pickles. I didn't really, water bath canning just takes, it's a lot longer of a process. I still don't have like really the right pots for it. So I was like, I'll just do some quick pickles. That way it'll at least buy me a month on these pickles. And so I did one batch of just sort of like a standard dill pickle, but then I did another one that was spicy pickles. And so it was salt, sugar, white vinegar, 2 chopped up cloves of garlic. The garlic I grew from the garden. The pickles, it was mustard seed, it was dill seed, and it was, did I say, oh yeah, 3 chopped up jalapenos that I also grew from the garden, and then some crushed red pepper flakes. And oh my gosh, are they delicious. It's not too spicy. Like when you take the first bite, you get sort of that dill taste, and then you get like a slow heat after it. It is awesome. Yeah, I've never really been one for spicy pickles, but I gotta say, like, I think that the spicy pickles are my preference out of the two. Don't like pickles, except sweet pickles. Interesting. What about it? Is it like is it the dill flavor you don't like, or? I'm not like crazy about pickles. I think they can be yum on burgers. I will say, like, I think that like homemade pickles to me are pretty stinking good. I think that they taste a lot better than, you know, what you'd buy at the store. Like, it's been, I mean, like that sweet pickle relish. Oh, yum. UK plumbing tends to use copper rings or olives over copper pipe to join. Interesting. Are they like shark bite fittings? Someone just showed me the other day, because I hopped on a call, and somebody, oh gosh, I don't remember where they were from. I don't think they said, but they said that some places use, well, there's like 2 things. There's shark bite, AC. So there's like these push to connect fittings, but I like sort of like these, or like these. But when I read online, I saw a lot of mixed things about like leaks caused from them. And I did see that there's a very expensive tool that some people have that I think instead of flares, it uses some sort of force, or maybe it does create flares. Maybe it does create flares, but instead of you turning something, it just sort of like you shove the pipe in and it's like, you know, battery powered instant flare. I don't remember. I saw there was a few methods, but AC line set olive connection. I don't even see anything. This is like, yeah, this is what I'm used to seeing. I don't know. All pickles are wonderful. Hey Liz, I think it's dill. Depending on your system, the mini split is okay, I guess, but with electric expansion valves and small orifice, you can clog your filter dry. I don't recommend leak lock. Yeah, I mean, I used, if you saw what I used, like I said, it was a grain of rice. It was so small. But yeah, I could see if you use large amounts of it, that being a problem. Big pickles tend to have tough skin on the outside and are all soggy on the inside. Not good. Baby pickles. Oh yeah, my mom used to do a like occasional smorgasbord where that she would just get a bunch of like crackers and meats and cheeses, usually from Trader Joe's, and she would get those baby pickles, and sometimes we would have them just on like a sandwich with, it was usually, I think it was just like bread, butter, salami, and those baby pickles. They are delicious. I cannot deny there is something special about them. They're just like the perfect crunch all the way through. The ones I got, I'm growing 2 types of cucumbers. One of them is a like slicing / salad cucumber. It's a little bit softer, softer skinned. And then I did get the cucumber, or like pickling cucumbers, which are thicker skinned. And for quick pickling, it's not really necessary, but when I do the water bath canning stuff, you want that thicker skin, because anything with thin skin from the boiling water just sort of, it becomes like no crunch at all. Like it can almost become like soft, and it just is either kind of gross or at least just not nearly as satisfying. So yeah, but if you're not doing the water bath canning, then totally, you can use the cucumbers that don't have as thick skin. Yeah. I've only grown like 2 varieties of cucumbers. I did one last year, and then this year I did the same one plus a new variety. You can use spec connection. Interesting. Learn something new anyway, use a tool. Yeah, I saw that never use. Yeah, I did see. So those fittings were recommended to me when I mentioned that I had an issue with the flare, but my research showed that they tend to leak, even if not right away, after a while, and I was like, yeah, I don't want that. But yeah, I bought I didn't buy like an automatic flaring tool for this, but I did purchase this guy. So basically, you've got your different sized pipe diameter, so it slides in from that side, and you've got the sort of like flare. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a fillet for the flare on this side, and so it basically slid it in from that side, past it. I think I had it like, I didn't measure, but I had it sticking out like 1 millimeter or 2 on that side, and then this is tightened all the way down, but basically you slide. This is on this side. You slide this thing into the block, and then you use this guy to lock down the locating pin on this side, so that way it can't shift left or right. And you basically just turn this guy until you stop feeling any friction, and then turn it 2 more times. So yeah, it was not. I mean, obviously anything you haven't done before is challenging. So I was like, how do I use this thing? But it took like 1 YouTube video before I was like, oh, okay, I get it. That's not too bad. Steve, how's it going? Yeah, I used a drop of that Nylog on the piece that was creating the flare, which basically just meant it applied a really thin layer of it to the flare when it created it. That is what is used for HVAC mini splits, lines for flaring. Yeah, yep. That's what I saw recommended. It was just a pretty inexpensive one on Amazon, and I can show it again if you didn't see it, because I am pretty proud of this. Let's see. Yeah, so like there's a side profile of my flare, and then sort of a front on profile of it, and then yeah, that's after I installed it. Yeah, I was really pleased with how it turned out. It was smooth all the way around, and yeah, I don't know, I was really stoked. I should have taken, yes, the smarter thing to do, nice, would have been to take the 4 foot of copper I cut off of the line set and tried it on that. But no, silly me, wasn't thinking in the moment. I just went full send and used it on the actual line set that I needed. So that was not the play. I got lucky. I'm gonna call it luck, because it wasn't anything else. That I got lucky that it turned out so well. But yeah, I agree. I should have definitely tried it out a few times. Okay, so we've got these 3 guys done. Let's go ahead and pop our bearings on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I might have to use the quartz to get this to seat. Gosh, yeah, it's not going on fully. All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna just walk over here and use that quartz to try to press these into place. Yeah, that worked. That worked too. Like I said, they might need a little bit of adjustment on the bearings, but I think that they're pretty good. Okay, that one's on. This one. Get in there! All right. I think that's good enough for now. Did you make a vacuum test? Yeah, so I don't know if you were here when I showed it, nice, but so Everything I saw online afterwards said that the best test is to use a micron gauge, which I did not have. And so part of the issue, so yeah, I did use this. I did use this, but this manifold doesn't go down very low. And so I had a leak initially, and I think it was because even though I pulled vacuum, the leak was so small and so far away from this that it didn't show a significant change or any change in the short period of time that I held vacuum. So the second time I pulled vacuum for like 45 minutes or so, and then I left this for hours on there. And once I saw no change at all, that's when I felt pretty good and I opened up the line. I still ran around with a spray bottle and soap just to like make sure there was no bubbles that I was seeing once I released the refrigerant, and I didn't see anything. But yeah, I did use that to vacuum the line. Yeah, I did it for longer than 30. I think I did it for 45 the second time. So okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's some things I could have done better, nice, but I try to do things as correct as I could, considering, you know, that I'm not an HVAC person and I only went to YouTube University, so a lot of like, it's the same thing that I did the same thing that I recommend people do with like 3D printing videos, or really anything, is I watched a bunch of videos from different people, and they all say and do different things. So I tried to find the places where there was consistency amongst them. And so that's what I tried to follow. Because yeah, there was so many different channels with everybody saying different things. I'm like, all right, man, like, yeah, everybody can't be right. I mean, I know there's a bunch of ways to do the same thing. So yeah, I really tried my best to look for like, where are the consistent things among all these videos, and that's what I tried to go with. I mentioned earlier, but I didn't realize that the manufacturer actually sold a installation kit, and had I known that, I might have done that versus buying the tools, because the tools they provide you with is like a micron gauge, which would have been better than what I had. A pipe bending tool, which I did not have. I just bent it by hand and said a silent prayer before. And then, yeah, I had to use like a large 1/2-inch car torque wrench with a crow's foot versus a like a proper AC specific torque wrench. Yeah, I know that nitrogen is 100% what any like true HVAC person would do. And I looked into it briefly, but it seemed above the scope of what I was going to be able to do. But both one from like sourcing it, figuring out how to get it into the system. Like I just at that point would have probably tried to have hired it out. But I agree that like it makes way more sense too, to like if you do have a leak, that's what the nitrogen's for, so you can find it before you actually release your refrigerant. I definitely looked into the nitrogen thing, but yeah, I just felt like it was above what I was going to be able to do. Are you guys still talking about pickles? I know there's like 3 or 4 people talking food, but I don't know if they're still on the pickle talk or if you guys have transitioned. Okay, got those screws in. Okay, there's that. Now I need 2 M212s going into this piece. M212s. We have not used M212s yet, okay. M26s, M38s, M34s, M220s, M212s. Okay. Eggs? I haven't done a lot of Beads, you missed food talk and AC mini split talk, but outside of that, and nope. Yeah, I've never, like, I know a lot of people like spice with their eggs. I've never really been a big spice with eggs person. I love scrambled eggs are my favorite. My parents always did it where they like did like 3 eggs with only 1 yolk, and then they would chop onions beforehand and like grill the onions and then throw the eggs on, and that's definitely my favorite. That's my favorite way to eat eggs. But yeah, I haven't done a lot of like additional like adding of things to the egg. That's actually not totally true. Deviled eggs. What do they put on deviled eggs? It's like a red or like brownish, like really fine powder, right? That's a spice of sorts, I think. I've had that. I love deviled eggs and hard-boiled eggs. Eggs are just all around pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of like runny eggs, but it's grown on me with years. Paprika, got it. Okay. Yeah, I've never made them before. Usually, I haven't had them very many times in my life. Usually, it's if I've gone to like a potluck or maybe I don't know. I don't know where else I've had them. My mom maybe made them a couple times in my life, but definitely not something I've had very frequently. But man, every time I see him, I'm like, woo, let me get one of those. All right, so we got these. So next up, we are installing this guy on top of this guy, and we are using 30 millimeters. Yeah. All right, so we are definitely going to take it slow. We're gonna grease all of these. Okay. Yeah, let's just get them started, I guess, for now. Last week was like child's play compared to this. Last week was all like, I think the biggest screw we used was an M216, and this week it's like M230s for everybody. Some people mix runny eggs. Yeah, Erin was doing this thing for a while where she would take a piece of toast and then she would, how was she doing it? I think she was like lightly toasting the toast, then making a hole in the center of the toast, and then cooking the egg into the toast. And that was pretty dang delicious. That was new. I didn't know that like at this point in life I'd be experiencing new things with eggs, but here we are. Smoked paprika. Caramel, smoked runny eggs. You buy the bottle, 200 bar pressure, the 52 euro to refill the bottle. You're talking about the nitrate? No, not nitrate. Yeah. Is that what you're talking about, Nice? Yeah, I discovered too, it looks like that, at least in the US, you cannot buy refrigerant without being licensed. And that I was not aware of. So that makes a lot more sense as to why most of the units, at least all the ones that are marked as having DIY as an option, come pre-charged. Okay, let's get these screws popping out the bottom a little bit. Oh no, do not strip. Do not strip. Okay. Let's give this a go. partially. Just really scared to strip these because I don't think I'll ever get them out if I strip them. I'm also wondering if this bit is going to last for the entirety of this build. I'm kind of thinking not. Nitrogen. When you test the line set with nitrogen, is it largely a visual inspection? Like you can see it leaking out, or no? You're basically using that with the micron meter to be able to see if the number is dropping? Is that, I didn't watch, at least I don't remember. I was so focused on the stuff I knew I was going to do. Ooh. Ooh, scary. You see the pressure is got it. So you do the opposite then. Instead of, like in my case, pulling a vacuum, it's got it. Yeah, okay, got it. So you're applying, okay. And then once you confirm that it's good, then you release it out of the system and put it in the refrigerant. 40 bars of pressure inside, seeing after, got it, okay. If you're using nitrogen, are you still doing a negative vacuum as well, or that replaces the need to do the negative vacuum? Oh no. Oh no. There's no way it already died. There's no way. Gosh. I don't think it actually died. I think that the angle it's at is just too much pressure for the... I did use grease, but I probably should have put more grease on it before putting into the second part. That's probably where I went wrong. That's, yeah, it probably all came off when I installed it in the first part. Okay. Okay. I think that's good. It looks pretty flat to me. That was a challenging part, man. That was definitely the most struggle I've had with any of these so far. Okay. Okay, bearing on the front. The bearing is going on this side. That went on relatively easily. Okay, so bearings on there. And then next up we are, oops. Oh my gosh. Don't Don't forget this bearing. Use the flange marked with number 2. Okay, that is this guy. Wait, how is this? Wait, did I screw up? No, bearing goes on both sides, right? Okay. So bearing goes on this side as well. I should be able to just push this on, I think. Let's see if I start off flat. There we go. Okay, bearing's on. And then this guy, I don't think the direction matters. Yeah, I don't think the direction matters. So these are M230s, so the biggest of the big ones. You can use a mix of nitrogen with hydrogen or helium instead. Interesting. Have a power bank. You can charge Hodo while using it. I've got, let me see what this iPad's at. Okay, iPad's at 98% charge. So if that's the case, yeah, that's a good call, Lisa. The iPad, which I use as the second screen, was dead when we started streaming. So now that it's not, let me pull out this power block here and plug it in. I think this is probably still plugged into the wall. Let's see. Yeah, that's lit up now. Oh, you can't. No, you can't use it and charge it at the same time. That's lame. Really? So if I unplug it. Oh, all right. Well, that's not amazing. All right. For this one, this is another one where we should probably ream it first. Yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna do. Extrusions, nice. Super cool. I still need to order all the sort of random items, but I'm hoping, since I'm planning on getting them all from like Amazon, that it's gonna be quick regardless. Hey, do it! Plug it in every time you set it down. Yeah, like right now. Let me see if I can set up the cable so it's not falling off the table every time I unplug it. Let me run it like this, and then like this. That'll work. Okay. Wow, that removed a lot of material. Fun build. I mean, it's not bad. It's a lot of screwing, man. The M2 screws that are long have like an absolutely ridiculous amount of threads on them. So that is certainly a challenge that I haven't really had to experience. Like I think for most builds, I've pretty much always just done them by hand. Okay, so I am putting a little bit of grease on each of these bolts before I slide them through this part. I think it's loose enough, like with the reaming I just did, I don't think the grease is all just gonna fall off before they go into the part that I actually need the grease for. I am looking forward to seeing this guy come together, though. Okay, so like I said, I don't think it matters directionally. This side, everything is, yeah, this should be able to go in any direction, I think. So let's see if I can get some of this started. Okay. Just trying to get these screws lined up with their holes. There we go. Also, for anyone that wasn't here at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned that Polymaker is doing some changes to their systems to, I think, streamline and just make handling the prizes or awards for giveaways easier. So there is not going to be a giveaway today. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. If I don't, like, if another week or so passes by and I haven't heard anything, I will definitely reach out. But yeah, just wanted to make sure you were aware. You're almost done with the build? Oh my gosh. Haven't decided I'm gonna do the Overland add-on, just leave the flatbed decisions. I think that the Overland add-on looks awesome, but the amount of extra printing and weight it adds to it, I don't think I'm likely to do it. Are you adding the LEDs to it? Because I think that there's like a, who's calling me? Oh, spam. I think there's like an in-between you can do where there's like the flatbed build and there's a version where there's LEDs that get added up top and a like tire mounted to the top of it. I'd like to add the LEDs if possible. That seems cool to me. Stop. Yeah. I grease these. I'm sticking with the grease. The soap, I flipped the soap cap over, so okay, is this not supposed to spin at all? Oh yeah, it can't, what am I saying? Yeah, I tossed the soap out because the cap flipped over and I'm clumsy, so I didn't want a bunch of things on my desk. But yeah, I am using grease. I am definitely using grease. Should I be using more grease? Maybe. That's a possibility. Almost done with the printing. I might add the LEDs, haven't decided yet. Yeah, I'm a sucker for LEDs, man. So I don't know. And I know my oldest is really excited to drive this thing whenever I actually get it built. And so I think he'll have fun like toggling the LEDs on and off. Okay. Okay, that seems good. Next, we are installing screws on top of those screws. Oh, did I mess up? No. Nope, we're good. Okay, hold on. Let me get a sip of water really quick here. All right, so this is this guy, and direction does matter on this guy. Okay. So it's going like that, and then we need what? M212s. M212s, there we are. We probably don't need to grease these, but I'm still going to, just because the PCCF parts I don't think thread in nearly as smoothly. Oh, I might need to push this guy up again. Oh, nope. As the PTG. Okay. Oh, I forgot to plug in the, dang it, I forgot to plug in the screwdriver. Jackson, I can see Jackson convincing Landon to get on top of it and driving Landon into battle. That sounds like what Jackson might do. It's gonna be interesting. I just moved Landon's crib into Jackson's room, so when they get back from their Arizona trip, they're gonna be in the same room, and this is what we'd planned all along, was to have them in the same room, so I'm excited, but also very, very curious to see how it all plays out. Oh, gotta plug this in. So, I will report back. PCCF is dry and abrasive, yeah. I agree. I think I will do my best to just, by default, remount the parts where it makes sense and use grease on just about every other part. I bought an AC for my trailer. Nice! Is it a work trailer or a like vacation trailer? All right, so this guy's looking good. Just keep building on top of it. All right, so next we've got these. Does direction matter on these? I can't see how it would. I wonder if on these ones I should just ream them out. I kind of think that makes the most sense. Let me see. What do we need? M220s. M220. There you are. Just make sure that MOG is equipped with a hitch. Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, sorry, did I miss to do it? Oh yeah, it's a Hodo. Sorry, I missed that, your comment. Okay, nope, that slides through without any problems. Yeah, I bought this guy many years ago, and it's just sort of sat. I haven't really used it, so. No, are you? Oh my gosh. Look what I did. Look what I did. Why am I like this, man? Here's all my grease, man. Why? Why? Why me? All right. That's a dirty piece of paper. Okay, this is the second time I've done that this stream. Let me move this. Let's put it up here. Clearly it's a bad spot. It's happened twice. Just a small vacation trailer. Nice. 5 meters. That's cool. You ever heard of Hodo? Hodo's a pretty big brand. Yeah, they're definitely like a decent sized brand. They make some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, they make some pretty cool stuff. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. So Dan, I'm not put it in a small dish. I just grabbed the first thing I saw. GPs, I just grabbed the first. Yeah, I probably should have put it in a small dish. Yeah, I just looked for like, what's a flat surface on something I don't really care about? And I was like, oh, you're perfect. All right. Okay. Can I turn off autofocus? I feel like it's just focused on my hand. If I move my hand out of the frame, I think it's kind of okay, but I wonder if it's better to turn it off. Almost as big as a Hodor? What is that? Is that actually another brand? Or is that a joke? I don't know. Hey, Ranch. If I didn't say hi, I don't think I said hi to you today. How was the rest of your vacation, man? I know you said you ended up having to work days that you weren't planning on working. Nice, but I think last week you were still. I think you were still on vacation last week. Get in there. Hodor is game. Oh, I never watched Game of Thrones, man. I put on the first couple episodes like back when I was still living with my parents. So, I mean, that would have been 8 or 9 years ago. It was right when Aaron and I started dating, and I put on the first couple episodes, and Aaron just like straight fell asleep, and so I never watched anymore because I was like, I'm not gonna get into this series if you're not into this series. I feel like she would probably like it more now, but yeah, I don't. We got invited to a watch party for like one of the final episodes of something like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if it was the final. I don't know if it was the final episode of the entire like series or what, but that was fun. Everyone was kind of dressed up, and yeah, I wouldn't know any references from the show. Not for children. Yeah, we watched some pretty aggressive. Like we finished Vikings, and there were some episodes of Vikings where even I was like, oh, that is making me feel lightheaded, or like at least like queasy. I don't do that great with like things that are too brutality towards other humans. Like it makes me feel really sick. I don't know. I don't actually get sick, but just I don't know, mentally, and like I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So most of the Viking show is really good, but there was a couple times where I'm just like, oh, that's too much for me. I don't need to see all that. Okay. Check the parts orientation in the bearing position. I can do that. Let's see. We got bearing, we got you, that looks fine, that looks good. I think we looking good. Okay, so next, put that to the side, grab this guy, and we're doing M225s, 3 M225s. Yeah, Vikings was brutal. We really liked the show though. Like there was a lot of stuff in that where I'm like, man, this show is like super cool. But every once in a while there's an episode where I'm like, oh man, like they didn't need to show all that. Like they could have just like inferred something bad was happening without showing it all. So, but yeah, the show itself, we definitely liked it. But final season was a bit of a letdown. Okay. I'm glad a few fellow nerds got the joke. Sorry, Chad. I'm a nerd. Like if you talked, I don't know, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, like I got it. Probably Lord of the Rings as well. Maybe Harry Potter's probably, but yeah, that's just that you got the like one of the one series where I can't. I don't know. Okay. Oh, what? That dropped in a bit. I worked 2 days extra last Friday and Saturday. Nothing this. Oh, you're taking this week off? That's awesome. I've binged the entire series. Very disconcerting the last season when the children were getting adult scenes. Yeah, I remember the first or second episode where I was watching it with Aaron, and Aaron fell asleep, and I'm like, there's a lot of naked people on this show. And Aaron was just sleeping, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I did hear it gets better, though, as it goes on, the show. Like, once you get out of sort of the first little bit. My wife just took the big one to the ER. Oh, no. Do you... Like... Do you know if it's more just like to make sure everything is okay? Like, I hope everything's okay. Nice. I haven't watched Last Kingdom. I've heard of it too. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, I heard, it kind of starts off slow. Oops! Stop spinning on me. Yeah, it is totally focused on my hands. Let me change it. It's driving me bonkers. There we go. Oh, hello. Let's try that again. Okay, are we in focus? Yeah. Okay. Tightening these down. Game of Thrones starts quick? Okay, then maybe not. Okay. This one I'm definitely going to be reaming. I'm also going to be plugging in the charger, or the photo. Okay. There we go. Don't forget to open the giveaway. There's no giveaway today. Polymaker said that they are working on some system changes. I think they're trying to use a different platform to run their giveaways because they've had some issues with the current one. Last week I think it was maybe intentional, but yeah, I had a couple times. I think it was on Lisa's one that she won maybe a month or so ago, and there was one other where like it just wasn't working, the automation part. So I think they're trying to look into another option. Until they do that, there's not going to be until that happens, there won't be a giveaway. So hopefully it's soon-ish, but I've got absolutely no idea as of right now when it's going to happen. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, Tuxedo. Like, I mean, there's a certain level of, like, show where, like, if it's just unnecessary nudity, which I felt like Game of Thrones kind of had a little bit of, but, like, that's less of a thing. For me, it's, yeah, the whole, like, brutality or cruelty towards other humans, where especially it shows a lot of stuff, like, it doesn't sit well with me. It makes me very uncomfortable. I, like, physically and mentally, I just don't like it. I don't know. It just feels wrong. I don't want to watch that. I've always been that way. I remember when I was a kid and I had like friends that really were into like horror movies and they wanted to watch Saw and stuff like that. And I watched it. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't want to watch people suffering. This isn't, no. So I like thrillers are fine. Like even some level of horror. And I can do like, if we're talking like old school, like slasher films, that's kind of different to me because I feel like they're more like cheesy, but yeah, some of the more psychological stuff, I can't do it. Okay, can we get this part in? What is going on here? Oh, it's charging. Hey Diano, I just finished the transmission and now I'm working on the first front axle. Oh nice, you're building one of these? How did the transmission go for you? I gotta clean up all that dust. It's not really dust, I guess, but plastic shavings is probably the more accurate description. Hey, nice. Please let us know if you might not be here. If you had to go, you had a family thing. I get it, but please let us know later on that things are okay when you know. 6x6 had to reprint one gear, broke the bolts inside. No kidding. What material and what are you using tool-wise for installing all these screws? Was probably way too much grease, but whatever. Here's ASA. Okay, cool. What caused the bolt to break off then? Was it just... Because I would imagine... Or was it just threading it in that it kind of like locked up, and so the strength of the printed part caused the bolt to spin on itself and basically break, or what exactly happened? Too tight. Thrillers are okay, but horror I'm not a fan of. I became a bit desensitized to it with the years, but it's all a matter of context. Movies like Saw are example I find. Like Saw, yeah, that's where I'm at too. I mean, different strokes for different folks, but yeah, for me, it just like kind of affects me. Like even later on, I'll think about it randomly, and I don't know, I don't like it. It just doesn't. I need to buy bits because they broke so fast right now. I'm using the Xiaomi. Got it. Okay. Well, I never started Robert Jordan 2, knew they wouldn't end the series. Yeah, I got these TGF. It's like a full set on Amazon. And I'm probably, I don't know if this was the right call because it only has one bit for what we need, or maybe two because there's an M3 size screw as well. So I will probably, after this stream, order a couple spare of just the size that we've been using because I don't want it to break midstream or just break it all mid-build and not have another option. Okay, more bearing time. Did you watch or did you like The Witcher? So The Witcher had some, like, I mean, some for sure, like, bloody gory stuff, but the way it was done with, like, the monsters and stuff, it like, that to me was totally fine. Aaron and I loved The Witcher. Like, we were really into that show. Come on, get down there. Go to your home. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give me a sec. Okay, this piece is really not wanting to budge. Crap. It's kind of a problem because it needs to get down lower, but I can't just press from the top anymore because the screw heads are blocking it. I wonder if I can just sort of like, Nipix maybe? Oh, I'm scared I'm gonna damage it. Let's see. Okay, I think I maybe popped it into place. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay, that was not super easy. I'd already have blisters in my palm. Oh, from From what? Doing it by hand? I just received a call normally. No perforation in the internal. Here, nice. Nice, so everything, I mean, everything is okay. What happened? You said water related. I mean, like got caught underwater and, or, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of really with water. Unless it was like a big wave or something that, I don't know. Check the part's orientation and the bearing position. Make sure the helical gear is oriented like in the picture. Yeah, it looks correct to me. Yeah, I couldn't do this by hand, man. There's no way. I think it's like actually dangerous to do this full build by hand. You would just destroy your wrist from the repetitive motion. God, I can't talk today. I don't know what is going on. Okay, so this is now, yeah, we're still using new parts. Wait, no, that's, where's that gear? Hold on. I don't think I have that big gear. I mean, I have it. I've printed all the parts for the gears for sure. I just don't have it out. So it must be, it's probably this gear right here. Yes. Okay. Breaking Bad was really good. I watched that, it's a long time ago, like right when it came out, I think. Okay, so we need this, and that's largely it. So we need a bearing to slide on here. I never watched, I don't know if I finished Breaking Bad though. I definitely never watched Better Call Saul or whatever the like spin-off was. I'm not sure how far down this is supposed to go, but I feel like probably all the way like that. Okay. And then I wonder if, so we're using M230s. Probably gonna ream these out as well. He jumped from high into the lake and was, got it. Okay, wife panicked a little bit. How old is he, your son? Okay, so I'm gonna ream this out too. With how deep this is going in, I don't think we need to thread through this entire thing. Unless we should. Maybe we should. Maybe this is a big enough part where we want the rigidity of it. So maybe I will. Let's just do that then. All right. Are you using grease or anything like that for the screws? Because if you're using, I mean, ABS is still pretty heat resistant, or ASA, whichever one you said, but I'm just wondering if, curious what others are doing. Hey, BBs! There are a ton of fires. Is Deanna here? I don't know if I saw Deanna today. There's a ton of fires all over this part of the United States. I know she's in Oregon. Oregon is really on fire. We've had horrible, I think it said, there was a day a couple days ago where Nampa, which is where I live, was third worst air quality in the country for that day. Like, it was just horrific. Haven't seen her today. Yeah, I hope she's okay. I sent a fire map to my coworkers the other day, just showing like this part of the United States, and it's just fire everywhere. Like, I mean, maybe hundreds. Like, I mean, a huge amount of fires all over. Hey, Dougal. Oh man, I love yeah. Stranger Things is definitely my jam. Aaron and I watched that full show together. Yeah, we watched Stranger Things. We watched Sabrina. We watched Wednesday. We watched Witcher. Lord of the Rings, the Amazon, whatever the Amazon show version of it is. I tried, but I don't like the fell. Feels like it's going to get loose. Oh, you tried using grease, but you feel like it's going to get loose by using grease on the screws? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's no way. Like these are, I'm not using. I'm using carbon fiber PTG, so mine is definitely less slippery than ASA, but it's hard for me to think that that would happen or could happen. But again, I'm not using these parts in ABS or ASA, so I don't have a feel for what they're feeling like. Where are we? Wait, check the orientation of the gear. Why? I don't see how you could do this any other direction. No. Are the fires close to Portland? I don't know. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Aaron sent me a map. It looks like they've gotten some of them under control, but she sent me a map, I think yesterday, of what the current fire situation was like, and it still didn't look good. Let me see if it's probably under my, oops, what the heck? Let's see. Okay, no, she just sent me a zoomed in one of where we're at. Fire maps. Yeah, so like this is, I mean, oops, maybe later. So yeah, this is like where, so I live in, where's Idaho? So Idaho is like somewhere right here, and Oregon is just like completely on fire. I mean, like if you look at how many fires there are, does it say Portland somewhere? Here's Eugene. Canyon, so where's Portland? I don't know. Let's see. Portland. Why is it not working? Oh. Yeah, Portland, Oregon. It doesn't look... No, Portland looks fine. Oh, you guys can't, sorry, you can't see that, but Portland's right where that little blue drop is, and there's a 12-acre fire. This one's massive. Grasshopper fire is burned 18,000 acres. Bench fire, 60,000 acres. And then like you get further east, it just gets absolutely wild. But yeah, no, if she's near Portland, then Portland looks relatively fine. So that's at least good. Yeah. My engineering background says it's wrong to use grease or oil on bolts. Got it. I think that the main reason that it's recommended is to help prevent heat from the friction, so that way you don't accidentally melt the inside of the parts or, you know, the threads that you've cut. But yeah, these PCCF parts are really tight even with using grease. Why are we not going in more? Okay, we are slowly. Come on. There we go. The bagels are safe. Oh no. Yeah, maybe she's finally sleeping for a couple hours. Dude, these three screws are my least favorite by far so far. They are awful to get in. I'm almost wondering if I should switch to using an Allen key to give me a little bit of additional leverage, but dude. Yeah, I don't know that I'm getting these all the way in. I'm gonna switch to an Allen key to see if that little bit of extra leverage will help, but these screws are kind of kicking my butt. Where are those Allen keys? You know what? I think I might have brought them in the house. Give me one sec. I know I was using them yesterday because I had to disassemble the crib. Landon's crib does not fit through the door frame. There they are. Hey, Monkey, you wanna hang out in the garage? Dude, Monkey's been my right-hand man out of desperation, I think, since there's nobody else in the house. He's like, all right, well, I guess I'll hang with you now. You can go outside? Here. There you go. All right. So we need, is it the smallest? It is a 1.5 mil driver. All right. Okay, can I get these in? Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't know about these. I don't know about these screws. Oh my God. Jeez. It doesn't need much, but there's a gap, man. It's like, I don't know, a millimeter or so. Gosh. There's only one dog. Our older dog passed last November, so Monkey is, this is a great question. He is a mutt. I think I might have stripped this out. Yeah, I think I stripped it. Or oh, no way. I broke this. Wow. Okay. Well, that sucks. These wearers have lasted me forever. Monkey's a mutt. He's definitely got some sort of pit in him. And I think that Aaron said he's like part Queensland healer, but I don't know. He is a strange looking little man. If he comes in near a minute, I can show you guys. 50 months! Oh my gosh, nice. Thank you, man. Thank you for all the continued support. Butterfingers. I can't believe it broke. I mean, I put some force on it, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of thinking, what's the play? Like, do I take all of them back out and then try again? I don't really know what the call is. I don't think I'm gonna get, yeah, I think I'm taking them all out and trying again. Yeah, I don't think I even tightened it that, I mean, I put a little bit of force into it, but I don't think it was that tight. The good news is I don't need to use that one all that often, and I still have the ball end, but it definitely kind of sucks. I don't know if I'm getting this out, man. This might be a reprint sitch. Did it damage the bolt? No. Tuxedo! Thank you so much, man, for the 5 gifted memberships. Let's see. Rob got one. Rupert got one. Nuno got one. Groovy got one. And Jess got one. Thank you, man. Did you calibrate your printer for tolerances below? I mean, I haven't had any issues with any other parts. It's just this one. So I did print out like the little test swatch thing, and everything seemed fine. It's just this. I'm not sure if I'm getting this screw out. Yeah, no, that's stripped for sure. Well, I gotta reprint these parts. It kind of sucks. I probably should have reamed. I think that's what I will do differently on the next go. Is that I will ream the top part. So that way it only has resistance on the bottom part. But yeah, it's interesting. So far, all the parts went in with like relatively little issue. But this one, man, it's really kicked my butt. On same assembly, I had issues. Got it. Yeah, everything else, like, I mean, the rest of the parts here, like, have gone together fine. Just this one specifically, that one bolt. I tried to alternate them so that way they were all kind of going in at the same time, but it doesn't seem like it mattered. Yeah, I didn't. I questioned reaming the top part and decided not to because I wasn't sure if that was the right call. But yeah, no, I agree. I should have definitely reamed it. So probably have to reprint both of these guys out. I don't know if I'll be able to do much without these parts. Let's see if I can at least continue with the next piece. Let me actually get these parts sliced up. So let's do this. These are printing matrix, and these are part of the first set of gears. I think they're these guys. So it is number 10. Okay. You'd use it if you're threading in both parts, one is opposing the others, and that's the recipe for certain parts. Got it. Okay, well, lesson learned. Moving forward for the rest of the build, I will basically always ream out the top part if there's multiple parts. So for this one, it is... No, it's not any of these three big guys. I think it's this guy, possibly. I'll check in a second. It's not you, it's not you, not you, it's not you. So it's this part. This is one of them. Not you, not you, not you, not you, not you, not you, not you. Okay, so does this part have any numbers on it? It doesn't have any numbers on it. So I don't believe it can be you. It's definitely not you. So it should be these two. Does one side stick up? Yeah, so it's these two parts. The only way to avoid this is if both parts were securely clamped together while screwing. Yeah, you're saying because of the fact that there's like that gap in between the two, right? Like there's always going to be a little bit of a gap, which is going to cause that sort of twist. I'll end up reaming moving forward. The reason why I didn't on that one, Tux, was because the screws are, because of the length of this part, I wasn't sure if by reaming this, it would cause any issues with sort of the rigidity after the fact, but I don't think that's the case. There's plenty, it goes pretty deep into this part, and the amount of like pulling force on this guy into here, yeah, that was my bad. I should have, I made a call and it was not the right one. So this one I want 95% concentric. Concentric, where are you? Here you are. Okay, I think that's it. Everything else should be set correctly. Let's go ahead and slice. That's exactly it. Okay. Parallel threading is a SOD. Something of demise? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. All right, here we go. Okay, we'll get that printing. Okay, so if I go back here, that's where I just screwed up. So I can't build this assembly yet because everything builds off of that. Dang, it kind of sucks. It was the last, like, the last big piece of this first assembly. So I have a question for everybody then. I'm gonna have these reprinted in like 2 hours. Do you guys want me to wait until next week to basically throw them in here, grease them, and tighten this all down? Or do you want me to go ahead and basically throw all the gears we built today in here, tighten them down? So like I would do all this, all this, all this, all this, and we would pick up right here. I think that's what I'll probably do. I think that I'll likely do that. I'll drop everything in, I'll grease everything up and close it up. And so we'll continue from here next week, which is more gears. But we're gonna install, it looks like, the motor as our starting point. Yeah, and then install that. So that's what we'll do. I'll get us to here. Yeah, I'll get us to here for next week. Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get that together. Yes, yes, I did. So one of the long screws. Wait, did I not break this? Hold on. Maybe I didn't break this. I'm now confused. Okay, I didn't break this. Oh, that makes me happy because I really like these wrenches. So it did just fly off. Okay, so yeah, I know technically then I didn't really break anything, but one of these screws that I could not get these fully seated. There was a, you can kind of see. Oh, I always freaking do that. Okay, so I couldn't get this the last bit of the way in, and so I decided I was going to take everything out and try again, but this guy just screwed. Yeah, this guy right here, not screwed, stripped, sorry. I heard another sound, it's stripped. So I am going to reprint these pieces out because I'm basically going to end up snapping this piece so that way I can get that bearing off, which I might just do it later. I don't know if I'm going to use a Dremel. No, I might be able to wiggle it off. Yeah, I'm probably going to use a Dremel or something like that to cut it. So, just so I can recover that bearing. I mean, at least the thing that went wrong was sort of like at the end of this assembly part. Let's just take a moment to browse through some of this. You might want to deburr some of the housing to make sure the gears run smoothly. Yeah, I'll play around with like what the fit's like for sure. The housing, I'm really impressed with how clean a lot of the housing turned out. The only sections you might see something is like, this was all basically covered in supports because it printed like that. But I still think that for the most part, it really came off. Oh, I thought I heard something outside. I left Monkey outside. Hold on. You over it? Come on, bud. You guys want to see monkeys? Come here, Monkey. Monkey, come here. He's old, so I gotta be careful with this guy. Come here, bud. Monkey, come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Up, 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 up. There we go. Oh, hold on, big guy. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Oh, here he is. Yeah, this is Monkey. He's our strange doggy, huh? Yep. Hi, bud. How old are you now? You're like 11 years old, I think. Yeah, you're like 10 and a half, 11 years old. So, yeah, he's got very stinky breath. He's always had stinky breath his whole life. He's definitely a mommy's boy, but mommy's not here, huh? So it's just us lonely dogs hanging out together. That's right. Yep. So yeah, this is Monkey. Bye-bye, everybody. You are hot, dude. You smell like hot dog. All right, I'm gonna let him back in the house, and we'll hang out for a few more minutes here, and I'll probably call it. I just want to take a look at what the next section is after we get this gear assembly in place. Yeah, he's that's because you never brushed his teeth. He always had bad breath. Like Delilah, even before she passed in her old age, had like, I'm not gonna say she had great breath, but like she had pretty good breath. Okay, let's take a look. Just like I said, this is what we'll do next week. We'll get this installed, then we'll get this mounted into the assembly. The frame, excuse me. Holy cow. And then it's the drive line. That looks intense. To go from that to that looks, it looks really intense. I've got to do some printing before we get here. I'm basically just, so I'm using up all the PCTG. I pretty much already printed the parts I wanted in it. So like, I've done this, these, and I think I'm on this. So whenever I run out of PCCF, I'm probably just gonna switch back over to black PTG because I really did, even though I'd like to do these gears as well. So maybe I will make sure I at least get the gears. So, but I don't have enough. I don't have enough for everything. So, which is fine. I think PCCF is overkill for a lot of this, but I had it and I figured that the stiffness and the heat deflection wouldn't be a bad thing to use. That was a Monty Python. Oh, the brush your teeth. The only Monty Python movie I've seen is the Holy Grail, right? 'Tis but a scratch, right? I think that's the. Let's see. Monty Python. Yeah, it's the Holy Grail. Yeah, I didn't see this until I was in my 20s. A buddy showed it to me, and then I think I had Aaron watch this with me maybe last year. Ugh. So. Sweet. Oh, I think we'll call it here. I'm getting pretty hungry. And because I broke that part, there's not much further we can go. I would have liked to have gotten the whole housing assembly done and installed, but I don't think that's going to take us very long. It looks like it's basically 3 parts onto the DC motor and then bolting it to this assembly, which I will have done, and then putting it into the frame. So we will do that. Holy Grail, the 3-headed monster scene. Why don't I remember that? Is the 3-headed monster in a cave? Hold on. Monty Python. 3-headed monster. Oh! Yeah, I do remember these guys now, of course. I might need to watch this again soon. It's been quite a while. All right. Well, no giveaway. No giveaway. Polymaker is pausing giveaways because they're switching over systems. So I'm hoping it's not more than like a week or two, but there's nothing I can do other than wait. I will, if I don't hear anything by like end of next week, then I will reach out and just say, hey, just want to check in and see how things are progressing. And if there's any sort of a ETA on when we'll be able to have our stream giveaways again. So I will, but I don't want to just, since they just announced it, like, I think it was end of last week or something like that, I want to make sure I give them some time before I'm, pestering them. So they get in a fight over who's going to kill Sir Robin. Sir Robin and the 3-headed monster. Yeah, I need to watch it again. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a amazing week and stay safe from fires if you're anywhere on this side of the United States or anywhere with a fire, because I'm sure there's ones elsewhere. Canada's also, a lot of my coworkers, or a handful at least, are in Canada, and I know that Canada's got some fires going on as well. So please stay safe, everybody. There won't be a video this Saturday. There will be a video the next Saturday. And then, yeah, game plan is next week we will chill in our, it feels so weird not being really hot and fatigued right now. Like the AC is like, I don't think game changer is an exaggeration of a word. Like it really is a game changer for everything here. Sorry I was late, but hope to build it. Hey, Tremley Chill. Hey, no worries, man. We are going to end the stream here, but everything, we're basically working on the gear assembly. So like we got these 3 pieces assembled, we got this piece assembled, we got this piece assembled, and we're on the last piece of it, but I ran into an issue. I should have reamed this part out, and because I didn't, there was just way too much force trying to turn the M2 screws at the very end, and so I ended up stripping a screw. So I am going to cut this off to revive the bearing, and then I'm printing out the parts, and I'll take like an hour 40, I think. I'm printing very slow because it's a like functional profile, and it's 0.16 layer height. So I'm gonna get them all installed in here and greased up, so that way next week we just basically bolt it on the frame and continue from there. So, but yeah, thank you everybody as always. There was a bunch of recurring members as well as some gifted memberships today. So thank you everyone for your support and for hanging out and for watching me dunk things in grease. At least we only did it twice. I'll take it. I'll take the twice over 3 times. I learned my lesson. But yeah, I will catch you guys all next week, hopefully. All right.